Imagine a place where every corner is connected, where the hustle and bustle of daily life flows seamlessly through an innovative public transportation system. Welcome back to Pine Harbor County, where the future of commuting is not just a dream. It's happening right now with exciting extensions, additions, and remodels of the Pine Harbor County public transportation system that are transforming the way we travel. From new routes that make your morning commute a breeze to state-of-the-art facilities that redefine convenience and comfort. Join us as we explore how these changes are shaping the Pinecrest Junction community and paving the way for a more connected tomorrow. Heyo and welcome to another episode of Pine Harbor County, where we will use and abuse the new operating district mechanic that was introduced in Cities Skylines 2. In the last episode, we built this industrial pier area in Pinecrest Junction, effectively creating over 7,000 new jobs for the residents of Pine Harbor County. If you happened to miss the last episode, then be sure to click on the info card above, or if you're looking for a new Cities Skylines 2 series to binge watch, then check out the entire Pine Harbor County playlist in the description below. Today, we're going to extend our Pine Harbor County's public transit by specifically focusing on Pinecrest Junction. Here, we will add a new passenger train station, extend the subway, and revamp the tram lines. Right now, we have about 68,000 citizens riding the trams, 54,000 riding the subway, and 61,000 riding the train. Will our changes today increase our ridership, or will our additions simply place us deeper in debt? Stay tuned until the end to find out. But before we begin introducing Pine Harbor County to our inevitable havoc, we currently have a poll over in the community tab discussing the future of Pine Harbor County. Since the Economy 2.0 patch, we have been fighting to bring Pine Harbor County out of the red, and we were almost there when the homeless patch dropped, essentially doubling our deficit once again. I'll admit this is a bit frustrating as a content creator and as somebody who plays primarily vanilla. So over in the community tab, we have a poll open until September 19th discussing the future of Pine Harbor County. Do we want to move on to Season 2 and begin a new city? Do we want to turn on unlimited money and continue with Pine Harbor County? Or do we want to continue the season as is and see if our budget either just completely bleeds out to death or if we are possibly able to bring it back up into the green? So be sure to stop on over to the community tab after the episode to cast your vote. Alrighty, now let's jump right on into the episode. So we are going to focus today's episode around transit hierarchy. Transit hierarchy is identical to road hierarchy, which defines your arterial, connector, and local roads, and then categorizes these roads for their functions and capacities. For City Skylines, it ultimately helps with vehicular traffic. I'm applying the same concepts, only instead of roads, I'm using transit. So, for example, a highway would be comparable to a train, an arterial road comparable to a subway, a connector road comparable to a tram, and in our case, a local road probably comparable to a pedestrian road or pathway. The goal with all of this is to help create a transit-oriented system where the trains help transport citizens to Bunyan Rest with pretty much no stops. The subway will transport citizens with a few amount of stops, and then the trams will have frequent stops and connect passengers directly to the train and the subway for further travel. Hopefully I've explained my goal accurately. If not, let me know what your questions are down in the comments, or watch until the end to actually see everything play out in action. So let's jump on in here and place a train station, and let's start by deciding which train station we actually wish to place. I think I'm going to place the medium train station so we have the ability to upgrade the station with services and ticket machines. Pinecrest Junction is a very developed city at this point, so I would assume these upgrades would be non-negotiable for the citizens of this city. However, for now we will leave these upgrades disabled since the recent homeless patch doubled our deficit again. And I think I would actually like to place this train station right beneath our East Pinecrest Junction High School. So I think what I'd like to do is try to wiggle it in here to the best of our ability. We'll have to move the tracks around, and I think I'll probably put a retaining wall in around the high school. So let's jump on in and let's get that up and running. I'm gonna take a second here to try to fix our lines, because we have one of our international lines that I can't seem to grab and kind of route around the station. So let's just fix that. Okay, so I decided there rather impulsively that it would be a good idea as well to connect Pine Grove to the city of Braeburn, especially since we have so many available jobs right now in Pine Grove. It decided to fight me. So let's kind of take a look here. So we now have a city of Braeburn to Pine Grove line, and then we did reconnect the Pine Grove to Bunyan's Rest line. Again, that was just a little more difficult than it needed to be. I was having issues getting the train to properly connect to Alders Bend and to Ashton. That actually should be named Ashton, so let's fix that. So yeah, we ended up adding 2 new lines, one for the city of Braeburn to Pine Grove and one into Pinecrest Junction, because I figured we might as well add that second one impulsively and increase our connectivity. Next comes the subways, and honestly, I've been wicked excited to add this since we discussed it back in episode 40. I have a few goals I want to accomplish with this. First is the extension of the Green Line into West Pinecrest Junction to add connectivity between Pinecrest Junction and Bunyan's Rest. Originally, I thought creating 2 branches of the Green Line, one into West Pinecrest Junction and the second into the industrial piers, would be sufficient. But I changed my mind. I think we have a better opportunity in extending the Red Line, which has a future extension into East Bunyan's Rest, to the industrial piers instead. This way, we are increasing our transit reach throughout Pinecrest Junction and Bunyan's Rest. Finally, if we add one more stop somewhere along the way in West Pinecrest Junction, we can add a connection between the two lines together so that those moving from the farthest station on the green line do not need to backtrack to get to the industrial piers. So let's start with the green line, and I want to start with laying out the tracks so we have a visual of where the lines will run. Normally, I would place the stations first. However, this time I want the tracks first since we have a lot of infrastructure already built in Pinecrest Junction, and it may be difficult to maneuver around that infrastructure. Now that we have our tracks placed and a visual for where the green line will run through Pinecrest Junction, let's find a good spot to place the additional subway station to serve as a hub between the red and green line, and then let's also place the last stop for the green line. So I'm thinking we want it somewhere here, because then we can actually branch the red line actually right out this way, but then we run into our lumber. If we branch it here, we could hypothetically run into some power lines. Yeah, it'll be a little cranky right there. But then again, I have the power lines running exactly that way, so that was a little inconvenient. Yeah, I think right there is going to be the best spot, honestly. Run it right like that. Okay, so that's how the red line will go. So I think we could probably just place our line right here. So I think I'm going to actually bulldoze these, and this is where our subway station will be. Oh, it's kind of convenient. We actually have a tram stop right there too. So let's delete these tracks here. Ooh, he's chunky. Oh, that was chunkier than I was expecting. Okay, so let's just pause the simulation really quick. Let's delete all of this and this. I really liked having that park there, but I bet you we can probably find another park. Some havoc and chaos of destruction. All right, so let's come back in here. Let's see if we can... I did like that park, but we could always put one of these in instead. But we could just kind of shift it all right to the side. Beautiful. Okay, that's good. Okay, so we definitely destroyed that park a little bit there, but we were able to get another one back in and accomplish what we needed to as far as the what's the words I'm looking for? The needs of our transportation. There we go. I do think we're going to probably call some destruction here. You know what? Nah. Let's see what we can get back into this area as far as it goes for shops, and allow it to kind of help with our demand. All right, let's see how we did and try extending our subway lines. And let's start with the green line. If I can grab it, there we go. And the green line is just going to come up here and then stop. So let's make sure we re-add the stops here in Braeburn. Perfect. And now let's grab our red line. And the red line, we are going to extend all the way out here, giving it an opportunity to stop here and here, as well as reestablishing our stops here and here. All right, hopefully that works. I think it will, but we'll see how much the ridership increases throughout the time during our episode. Next, I'd like to revamp our tram line, since Pinecrest Junction is currently being serviced by just a single tram line, and I think it'd be more efficient if we had two. So let's start by deleting the existing line and extending the west side line to include our newly built piers and cover more residential area. let's do the same thing on the east side and extend it closer to Pine Grove and reestablish kind of the connection in general. Okay, a little bit of chaos later. I think that should work out okay. Now let's add a spot for the two trams to exchange with one another, and I actually thought this would be a wicked cool spot since it's right near the couplet system and we have a pedestrian bridge going over it. Since I want to spice the exchange up a little bit, let's create a unique space instead of just plopping down two stops on the road. Alrighty everyone, since we now have new props and decals to decorate with, I am wicked excited to start today's Beautifying the Build time lapse. So kick back, relax, and enjoy! Alrighty, I think that just about wraps up today's episode. If you enjoyed, be sure to like the video and comment on your favorite part down below. Also, please do not forget to let me know your thoughts on the future of Pine Harbor County by going over to the community tab and voting in the current poll. This poll is open as of this episode and will close on September 19th. Regardless of the results of the poll, we will still have episode 45 next week, so be sure to subscribe and turn on your notifications if you're interested in watching us expand Woodbine north towards the Jack Pine Highway. Until next time, I hope everybody has a phenomenal week.